oppress people.
We agree. We absolutely agree. Now, let me ask you something. Are you a follower of Christ? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Could you come here a second? Now, why would this woman be a follower of Jesus Christ in light of the fact that 100 years ago, in this state, in this country, white Christians oppressed her great-grandmother and great-grandfather? See, I would argue that this woman has a real open mind. This woman is not going to give a white Christian racist the power to turn her off to the true Jesus Christ, who did not have a racist bone in his body. Instead, in his best-known parable, the parable of the Good Samaritan, found in Luke chapter 10, Jesus makes a direct frontal attack on racism. So you see, this woman has not given people who've abused Christ, twisted Christ, the power to turn her off to the true Jesus, who didn't have a racist bone in his body, who attacked racism, and communicated that all people have equal value because we're all created in the image of God.
And I would argue that she's had her culture stolen by white men like you, who have suppressed her mother homeland religion and her African roots by telling her the ethocentric view of Christianity she must accept to fit into your society.
Good. Now listen to her speak. And I've spoken? Now, ma'am, have you accepted Jesus Christ into your life because white people have forced you or brainwashed your mom and dad?
No, it's clear. You can look at the Bible and see that he obviously doesn't agree with slavery.
Good.
And that slavery was taken out of context and twisted what the Bible said to fit something that was economically profitable at that time.
Does she sound brainwashed to you?
Do you know your ancestors? Do you know your great-grandmother, your grandmother before that? Do you know where they came from?
Yeah.
And where did they come from? What's their history?
Africa being brought here as slaves.
And do you know anything about their oral traditions? Do you know what they believed in Africa? Do you know what tribe they belonged to? Or has your history been stolen from you?
Just because I'm not there now, that's not to say I would still be there even if people had, even if the slave trade hadn't existed. That's not to say that I would have stayed in Africa anyway. I could have ended up in Europe or here just immediately becoming a resident.
A young lady said that to me at the University of South Carolina. I was just about to answer her. A tall black gentleman steps out of the crowd and says, "Excuse me."
A bunch of white nationalists push Christianity down your throat.
Christianity was in Africa before Europe.
Whoa. Did you hear that? Christianity was in Africa before Europe. Yeah, like Ethiopia. Go ahead. Keep going, brother.
The Ethiopian Bible is older than the King James
Thank
Bible.
you. That's exactly right.
The argument that Christianity brought, that colonialism brought Christianity to Africa is completely wrong.
Why is it completely wrong?
Because Christianity was already in Africa before Europe.
Christianity was in Africa before Europe. Everybody hear that?
And one thing you need to know is that Christianity is not a European religion.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. One more time. Real loud.
Christianity is not a European religion.
Man, you're awesome. Christianity is not a white European faith religion. Keep going, brother. I like you.
So Jesus wasn't white.
Jesus was not white. Keep going.
So he looked more like, the Jews. He was a Jewish man, right? So he was kind of brown. And even though, the Europeans brought European culture to Africa, for example, I'm from Nigeria, right? So the missionaries came to Nigeria and they set up schools and all that. So one thing you need to ask yourself is, why did the people there choose to accept this religion? And one of the reasons why they chose to accept this religion was that some of the values being propagated by this religion already aligned with their values. So for example, the Igbo people we call, they had names that they would call God, right? The Yorubas, they had names that they would call God. So they had a framework for these things already, right? So the Europeans came in and they brought the Christian religion, and immediately these people accepted it. Now, the missionaries came before the colonial masters came. So it was after the missionaries came in and they set up schools and missions and all those things that, British started the colonial endeavor in Africa. So Christianity already had a strong foundation in Africa, even before the British came in with, colonialism came in with, the French came in with assimilation.